Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we are looking at Crucias' desk, which is the updated version of our Alchemy Rakdos list. So at least once every new cycle of cards we have to have a look and see if Alchemy Anvil has been improved, and I would say it 100% has. With these two cards are the new additions to our deck. So the core of this deck works as thus. We create blood tokens with the Voldaren Epicure and the Bloodtithe Harvester and the Sanguine Brushstroke. We then use Anvil plus blood tokens as our core sort of way of whittling down the opponent. On top of that we have treasures from Fable, and we have the whittling down effect of Sheoldred. Sheoldred is particularly nice in the current meta because if the opponent happens to have a midnight clock that triggers, they pretty much instantly die because they'll lose 14 life to Sheoldred, so very nice in some of the current Grixis metas. We then have 3 Voltage Surges removal and 2 Go for the Throat, so we've only got 5 removal spells, but on top of that we've got 2 Invoke Despairs now, which I never used to play in this deck, but thanks to Crucias this feels like a much better inclusion. So Crucias is the 3 costing 3/3. At the beginning of end step you may discard a card. If you do, create a treasure token and choose blah blah blah, and then you get one that's higher or lower mana value depending on what you choose. So because we get a treasure token every time, that is 1 free artifact every turn, which we can then use with Anvil, which is great. But also we can then, if we have these two as our top end, we can basically select a Sheoldred or an Invoke Despair. So if we select higher than one of our 3 drops, we'll get a Sheoldred or an Invoke Despair. If we get the wrong one, next turn we just throw it away and choose the other way, and we have a chance of getting the other one. So these two, depending on what our matchup is, can be very flexible removals or ways of winning the game, and Crucias gives us some sort of selection over these. Then we're also playing Mishra's research desk. For those who don't know, I don't know if I've even put this in a video before. This has it's called 1 costing artifact, 1 and tap, sacrifice the research desk. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose 1. Until the end of your next turn you may play that card, and it has unearth for 1 and a red. So this gives us some card selection. Also it's an artifact, so for Anvil that's very nice. It has a sacrifice effect on the artifact, so it's going to be leaving the battlefield of its own accord, creating us construct artifact creature tokens with Anvil. But also if we unearth this and it exiles when it leaves the battlefield, that still triggers Oni-Cult Anvil, because this is just leave the battlefield, not put into graveyard. So this seems to pair extremely nicely with Anvil, almost as if they've designed it to work this way. And that really is the deck. I mean, this is probably one of my highest win rate decks when having played in previous ladders. You know, it's a deck that can easily take you to the top 100 on the ladder in Alchemy, because Alchemy is a relatively soft format, I would say. The play is pretty easy compared to others, and you can get far with this. So we're going to try it with Crucias and the research desk and see how that plays out. I have also included a sideboard, which I'll quickly talk through. So running Mind Spikes for if we end up in control metas to remove board wipes, or especially Divine Purges is what these are targeted for. 2 Lonely Ends. The Lonely Ends are for if we are against mono red, because if we end up on the draw in the second game, i.e. we win the first game, I would always sideboard these in, because that gain 2 life can be invaluable against mono red. 3 of the Meathook Massacre. This is for the Naya go wide strategies if we end up against those. 2 Rotting Reunions and 2 Graveyard Trespassers. This is to deal with any reanimation shenanigans. And finally 3 Abrades, because any deck that runs the Key to the Archive, or indeed the new Mightstone and Weakstone, it's nice to have removal available for those that can double as creature removal. So that is the sideboard. It basically is targeting all of the current strategies that we could play against, and yeah, our base deck is pretty darn strong. We're only running 24 lands in this deck, which is a potential weakness. We could increase that, but since we don't really need to be playing this on turn 5, it's not really the crux of the deck. We really just need to be able to get to 3 land in the first 4 turns, I would say. That is our kind of goal, so this should suit our requirements. And obviously we can generate treasures with these 2/3 drops. So, and there's plenty of blood for us to filter our cards. So I'm hoping 24 lands will be enough, but obviously we're going to do some playtesting today and see how we get on. Alright, here we go. Back in Mythic against Silver Ghoul through number 314. So we got to Mythic utilising the deck from the last video, the Naya Growers deck, and I think I came in at 94%, now back up to 97%. Just been playtesting either Rakdos or Gruul for this video. Landed on Rakdos. I think if I'm trying to climb, why not use the best deck in Alchemy at the moment, which I still believe is Rakdos Anvil. Slightly updated version, as hopefully we'll see. Got all 3 copies of our Sheoldred. But even that can't ruin my day with this deck, I think. We will untap, please. So we're against Grixis, which is probably the best 3-colour combo out there at the moment. But we'll almost certainly be running Crucias as well. This will probably be countered, but I would rather one of these Sheoldreds sticks around, because I assume we're going to be playing against Rusko, Clockmaker, and therefore Midnight Clock, and therefore we want a Sheoldred down, so if the clock triggers, our opponent just dies on the spot. So our opponent looks to be struggling for land. Still. So unless they drew a counter spell, I would say we're okay for this turn. Let's see if Sheoldred #1 can survive. Nope. Okay. We have more. There we go. Okay, I think we want to keep this blood token around because we've got Anvil in hand, so we'll just wait on this turn. They haven't drawn a land. Okay. Happens to the best of us. Sorry, number 314, but we're up to 98%. Onwards and upwards. Next game, number 87%, Gasag. This looks pretty decent. The research desk should help us find what we need. That's the dream anyway. If not, we've got our top end only. Okay, so 1 land. If this gives us 2 lands, I'll be sad. So which one do we want next turn? Crucias? Probably. What are the odds? Crucias, my boy. So, do we throw a land, or do we throw a Sheoldred and take another Invoke Despair, or do we no? Let's throw a Fable. There we go. Because we could have got another Sheoldred, but we would just throw that next turn. So we're hoping to invoke next turn. I don't think they can attack. Nope. Just probably kill off the Initiate or the Counsellor. We're getting more cards, and that's what matters. And more land can go. There's still another one to play. It is that easy. Okay, so far so good. Next game. 96%. As I thought, 90. This is even better than last time. We would like to start with the Crucias every now and then, but beggars can't be choosers. Literally every card in this deck is golden, so... Quick Roxas again. Some might say there's no variance in alchemy. No variance, variety is the word I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be touching my research desk, boy. Yeah, fine. Or Epicure. Smashed into the ground. Okay, some more lands. I think our Blood Artists might not survive very long, but we want them to use this before we play Sheoldred, really. There's Rusko himself. Okay. Forced into that. Feels like there could be removal on the horizon. Having two creatures down when we've got damage in the Molten Impact bank always feels bad. They have to use it to kill Shelly. That's what I suspected. Gonna take 3. Kinda need to find another Shelly before the midnight clock goes off. Voltage Surge could be helpful against Rusko. Research this to find us something, please. I guess a research desk is better than nothing. Let's attempt to get rid of Rusko. Gotta find another Shelly soon. We haven't got any non-lands, never mind. What are you thinking, opponent? Draw more, okay. Let's see what's under here. I'd say another Brushstroke is probably our best option, isn't it? But we don't have to use it this turn. But maybe we should. No, let's try for an Invoke Despair. I'll be sad if this gets countered. It did not. I'm looking for my Sheoldred in there. Next turn, opponent's going to have their midnight clock popped. Oracle of the Alpha opted against. I wonder if that's a counter then. Let's try Brushstroke now. That does put us a lot of damage down. And I think we'd be brave to try Crucias, because if this is a make disappear under there, do we know that they're running it? We don't. But I'd say Harvest is a pretty safe bet. Because Next turn, this will be. This is killing. This is worth 4 damage. So they pay 3 and they draw 7. There's Crucias. Now we've got a better target for Harvester. Still not the end of the world that this clock is going to pop, but 7 card advantage is pretty strong. You would let that through. They could just let it turn our turn and discard their 1 and draw 7. Looks like that might happen. Kaleem. Expedient. Kaleem's the top mana curve in their deck, I suppose. We don't want them to have another Kaleem because they could forcibly tap the Harvester. Looks like that could be what they're doing. No. Okay, so we're going to start with killing this. Because this site here is 6 damage, so... They could have some life gain, I'm not sure what. But now we've got 8 damage that way. So sorry Crucias, but you have to go. Not often I'd be discarding a Crucias, but in this particular situation, it seems warranted. Nice. Just got there against Grixis. And we finally got ourselves a number. Let's keep going. Okay, game at number 4 against Insomniac Jack. Poor chap. Let's see how we can help him sleep. This is decent. What do we think? Mono red. 7. They're playing a 62 card deck. What is it with Alchemy and people not playing 60 cards? I honestly do not understand. I guess we'll get rid of the rat. I'm not sure what is going on with Death Touch rats, but... Fair. There's no 1 costing removal for Crucias in this situation, right? Yeah. Okay. There's definitely a lot of 3 and 2 costing removals. Well done. I think we'll just use Fable here. Don't really want that Epicure, so that can go. There's a lot of removal coming out here. Okay. Shambling Ghast. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna ditch these 2. Crucias we would like. Who knows if it'll survive. I think I'll throw this one. Because it doesn't look like we're going to have any big creatures to deal with here. So a Sheoldred comes down, but... Yep, Fable flips. Invoke Despair is nice removal for Shambling Ghast, because even if they sack it, it just means they take 2 more damage and we draw 1 more card, so it's win-win, whereas when you target it, it always feels bad if they deadly dispute it. Ashnod's Intervention is a new one. So that, when it dies, it returns it in his hand. Okay. Does that mean that they have some interaction for Crucias? No. And feels like we don't need more. Could have chucked Fable for a Sheoldred, I suppose. I was kind of hoping for a Bloodtithe Harvester though, so we can just keep copying it. This can go red. Fill in the blank for us. Don't want any more pain lands really. And we'll attack Crucias, shall we? No, it doesn't feel worth it. Okay. Another Fable. Then let's throw this Fable and find either Invoke Despair or Sheoldred. Invoke Despair is decent too. Yeah, okay. If that's your thing. Okay. Yeah. Like an after the fact death touch. Get rid of that. Okay. Back to the hand it goes. Can ditch the Surge. We'll keep the land for Crucias. Okay, we don't need it anymore. Shoot them with this. If we make one of those, they're going to go to 1. Because it'll do 1 damage when it comes in. 4, 5. Never mind. Didn't get to work it out. GG. Next game. We're against 79% this time. But beggars can't be choosers. We're still on 99. So the lower percentage we play against, the less MMR we gain in the background, so the less we advance. So we actually want to be playing against the highest rating we can find, but as I said, beggars can't be choosers. Now we've had a near perfect start, we really can't complain. If this was a Crucias, just ping over the top, no attack, Argente 000. On the Fable, maybe? Yeah. That's going to turn out to be very painful for you. So we can swing with everything. And then kill both their creature and their enchantment. It just feels bad. It's like kicking puppies. Yeah. Sorry. That was horrible. Next game. The Celestial Bagel. We've had some interesting usernames today. Again, a pretty decent starting hand. So, and on the play, we may have taken 1 damage to play it, but we do 1 damage straight back. Black, untap, cut down. You would have wanted to hold on to that until my turn, Mr. Bagel. Because I'm going to play my Harvester. And not the Combine type. The Bloodtithe type. Seek new knowledge. So it's just Dimir Oracle of the Alpha, is it? The age-old Bloodtithe Harvester and Reflection of Kiki-Jiki combo is being assembled as we speak. And there is said Oracle. Yeah. Do you know what? No. I'm tempted to get rid of this. We've got another Harvester in our hand. That way we can get a treasure. And people just, they know what's coming with Rakdos, and they don't like it. They don't like it at all. Next game. Ice Moon, 87%. Still reading as 99. Okay, if we had an untapped red, we would be laughing, but we don't. And this is our challenge for the game. So, white. What kind of white are we? A soldier's white? A control white? A faithful disciple white? We'll throw away the Epicure, I think. More Fables. Okay, faithful disciple. So, I suppose we Fable for now. And then we throw away this Fable and try and find an Invoke Despair. That'll do. These do spawn enchantments, so yeah, okay. Just getting rid of the Fable. 3 mana. Don't blame you. Arena plunged into despair. It's nice to have a backup Crucias for sure. Guess we'll just anvil this. This is a tough one. Backup Crucias gone. Sheoldred is better at this point in the game. I'll be sad if Crucias dies, but I don't think Glorious Anthem's going to do it for you. Yeah, another card. Five. Yeah. Put 2 more damage here if we need it, but we can't get them below 1 at the moment. black in this deck as well, eh? It's quite cool lands though, aren't they? I wonder how the game prioritises giving me these swamps out of all the different basic swamps I own. Very curious. Alright, 1408, onwards and upwards. Okay, game 8. So far we are 7 for 7, but we have had some easy ones, but still. This deck is that powerful. Mono red on the draw, this could be our first challenge. It is indeed mono red on the draw. Okay. We've got a fairly decent hand for it, so let's see what we can do. Number 1603, what are we, 1407. Okay, outcasts are getting to swing. We've taken 2 damage. See what opponent does this turn. Got to be careful of the traumatic pranks. More removal, unfortunately. Okay. I suggest we go for Fable. Because what we really need to find against mono red is Sheoldred, and we haven't got one. Sheoldred will save us massive, as long as we don't get traumatic prank the turn we play it. Looks like they're a bit short on land, but we're still down to 10. Unsurprisingly against mono red. So we can get an Epicure down and a Brushstroke. That should stem our bleeding a little bit, unless the opponent finds land, but then if they had land they wouldn't have had all these Pleva fires to clear the way. God. Why did they not go for the Blood Artist though, I would question. Because now we can turn our own removal spells into life gain. That's 1 life. This could be used as creatures. Let's hold for now. These flyers are going to have to be the target of Voltage Surge, I think. The rest of it is less worrying. But they're just sort of feeding me with these creature attacks like this. We're not really losing life at the moment. And there is the oldie Sheoldred. So we can't afford to discard this, otherwise it would be worth 2 life to us, obviously drawing with Sheoldred. But if we play it, we don't have anything to discard. However, if we play it, we can copy our Blood Artist, which could be very good. Opponent's actually got less life than we've got. Yeah, mono red on the draw. They did struggle with land, but mono red doesn't really care about loads of land. That was a nice one. Alright, number 9. Insaner. Decent. On the play, so... Ooh. Yeah, okay. That was a tough one. Black blue, so probably Grixis or could just be Dimir Clockmaker. There's not that much diversity in the decks. Oh, I say that, and then we see Levitating Statue. Flying, when you cast a non-creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. Pay 2, it becomes a 1/1. Now that you do not see every day. It's like this game literally sits there listening. People just listening to what I'm saying and they're like, oh, not much diversity, try a Levitating Statue deck. I think I've seen this in one other deck ever before. Demogorgon's Clutches. I think we're going to need the Brushstroke. In fact, we're not going to need to go for the Throat. No. Put down our must deal with to stop them just messing about with these discard spells. There we go. No more faffing and making us discard. Those days are gone. So we can empty our hand now, which is nice. And down to 4 you go. Which means even a board wipe won't beat us now. It's the problem with playing nice and interesting decks like our opponent's doing. You just get punished by someone playing Rakdos. So it's like, really is one of those, if you can't beat them. Yeah, fine, we mill 2. Yeah, Lanterns are lost. This is a funky deck. Exile Graveyards doesn't bother us either. If this costs 1 to turn it into a 1/1, it may be viable, I don't know, but the fact that it costs 2 is just absurd. Don't even bother trying to play the turn out properly. 9 for 9. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Okay. We're now invoking play till lose, which means we'll lose this game. But if so, then so be it. Smorg, 91%. Okay. Which we've got no pain lands. This is Rafine's thingy. Wait, hold on. 58. This person's playing a big deck as well. I'm playing red. Big deck red. Big deck mono red, it looks like. Very curious. This is quite a good hand against mono red as long as we get more land. This we didn't really need, but these, because of the life gain from Blood Artist, can be very good. Surely you're not going to waste your counter from Kamano and kill my Harvester. Surely. Leave my Harvester alone. I really just can't get over how broken Rakdos is in Alchemy. It's just so ridiculous. Something needs to be done. No, they're not going to waste it. We'll definitely be blocking because we know they can't cast anything to buff it. That's one less problem. Alright, so let's look for a land. Okay, 2 in the top 10 isn't a great rate, but they've only had one. Oh, they've actually got a second one now. 3 Brushstrokes and a Sheoldred would do it for me, if we can find our land. I mean, we'll keep drawing 2 a turn with these bloods, and we will get there. Blood tokens underrated for just their core, you know. Pay 1, discard, draw. So good. Okay, we're taking 4 this turn. We need to get rid of that etching. That might be what our surge is for. Oh my god! What is going on? Top 2 in the top 12. This is going to be what? This guy said play to lose. This is going to be what does it for me. Just getting mana screwed. That is what stops every run in Best of 1. That's what stops every run. We are only running 24 lands, but I still would have expected a 3rd land by now. This is the slowest mono red player as well in the world. Normally people play mono red because they want fast and furious, not this player. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We're going to take 5, probably, because if we do get... we need... yeah. It's getting a bit painful, though. Come on. We're going to have to sack the anvil to itself. We're going to survive one more turn, but since we're going to get another one of these, I want to be able to block it. I just can't believe this bad luck. 2 in the top 13 now. Like, how many draws have we done through 45% and not hit one? Like 6, 7? 6. Come on. Ugh, more flying damage. If they go with the Ronin, I guess we double block Swift Spear. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we keep one of our blockers. But we've still got 3 in the air, so... Alright. We lost. It had to happen eventually. That is bullshit, though. That is absolute bullshit, losing that one. Also, 300 places for that. Crime. That is crime. Okay, here's a look at the stats for those who are interested. So we've played 22 matches in total across 4 versions. It did take me some tinkering to get to the version that we played in the video, with an 82% win rate in Best of 1. I mean, I have long been saying that Rakdos is broken in Alchemy, and I think this is just evidence. Look at this. We played 7 matches against Mono Red and won 5, so 70% win rate against Mono Red, which is one of the better decks in the format. And look how much more we play against it. Everything else is only 2 matches. Control, I have struggled against with this deck. Gruul, I think that was just unlucky. So, you know, we saw the last deck in the video was one of these losses, so that was even... I can't really count that. That should have been a win. So this should really be 6-1. But anyway, in the video, so the final version where the Invoke Despair's in, which I didn't initially have in, we went 12-1. In the video, I think I went 9-1 or 8-1. But yeah, overall with that version is 12-1, which is a 92% win rate. I mean, this deck is just incredibly good. It does have a slight skill ceiling, knowing when to use your blood tokens, how to ditch things with Crucias, when to use your anvils, but it really isn't that difficult. I mean, a lot of it does sort of play itself, and it really, really is a climber. If you want to climb the ladder, this is the one for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This refresher on Rakdos Alchemy is going to feature pretty much in every cycle of cards for me, just because it is such a strong deck. But yeah, I think we're nearly coming around to a new set coming out, so we're going to just be experimenting with a few more different bits in Alchemy. Probably try and climb myself into the top 1200 with this for this month, to get those play-in points, and then yeah, we'll experiment a little bit. So thank you very, very much for watching. Really do appreciate it if you made it this far through the video, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.